So that was wild. That was a wild Summer Games Fest. I've been messaging with people, wrapping birthday presents because it's my wife and my son's birthday this weekend. So it's gonna be a wild birthday celebration weekend with the two of them. I've been wrapping presents. I lost track of time. I meant to come on like a couple of hours ago, but I lost track of time. I was watching a couple of reaction videos to the stuff, answering back some messages and text messages and stuff I got over the course of the show. That was probably the craziest show I've ever seen. One of the craziest events I've ever seen. Jeff Keighley's team they owned the moment, man. They did it. Hats off to them. They pulled it off, man. It was that's totally Tyler Hoechlin. But slightly different tone. You talking about the deeper voiced guy at the end? I don't think that's Sephiroth at the end, the deeper voiced guy. I don't think that's him. I think it's another character. I think it's Godo, if I had to guess, but it could be another character, you know. How are you all feeling about that? It was crazy. Did the Knicks win? Was it 1-1? Or was it 2-0 Knicks? Is it? It's a new Sephiroth. Really? They recast Sephiroth. Why wouldn't you just bring in George Newbern? Travis Willingham? Roy Mustang? So that was him talking at the end of it? That's weird. That's a weird choice. That must have been a Matt Mercer influence decision. That's crazy. Huh. Okay. That's weird. I didn't think that was supposed to be Sephiroth voiced at the end of it. I thought that was just meant to be another character because it was so different. I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, appreciate that, Chris. It was wild. It was definitely wild. Yeah. Max Dude is so plugged in. He knows everything that's going to happen before it happens. He's like the mecha czar that everyone goes to now, months ahead of time to schedule interviews and releases and all that kind of stuff. They could have just went and got George Newbern. Yeah, Richard Epcar, who is awesome as Yuha Bach in the new Bleach stuff, which comes out in Core. The final Core comes out in a few months. I'm excited about that. I didn't mind Tyler Hoechlin's version. It sounded like George Newbern's Advent Children Kingdom Hearts version. That's weird. Yeah, just go get George Newbern. Anyway. Yeah, that's weird. Because it's a very stark contrast. For me, I'm like, I don't know, this is probably a bridge too far, but I think I would like them to go and have Willingham, revoice, remake and rebirth, revoiced, the revoiced trilogy. No, I didn't pass out. I was busy wrapping birthday presents for my wife and my kid this weekend, for their birthday this weekend. And I watched a couple of reaction videos and stuff like that. So, but yeah, they're patching up a lot of the Bleach stuff in Core 4 with rewritten stuff. So, which the final battle absolutely needs. The Aizen stuff absolutely needs it. But yeah, part 3, remake 3, we'll start there. Revelation, we can call it now. I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's not like Return or Return wasn't a cringy one. What was the cringy one? Reclaim. Reclaim was so cringy. I'm glad it's not that. B Pace. Appreciate the $9.99. That reminds me of the old WWE Network promos. $9.99. But yeah, like, I'm glad we've got the title out there now. And Revelation, very fitting. Very fitting. I'm excited about the possibilities. Everything they showed. Like, I like that they showed us a lot, but they didn't show us anything. Really, I mean, that's what happened. They showed us a lot, and they talked and they showed/talked for 10 minutes and didn't really show us much of anything. They confirmed things that we knew would be there and didn't tip their hand too much. I thought that was really well done. Fever Dream. Reclaim. Yeah. Renew. I heard renew. I was like, no. Revive. No. Get out of here. My best guesses, and I didn't really put my stamp on one, but my best guesses were, first I said reunion, and then I was like, well, that can't be. They already used it. And I did mention Revelation, but I stuck my flag in the ground on Redemption. Because people were like, oh, it can't be 3 syllables. I'm like, you all got to get off of this need for everything to be tactile and like completely consummate with, like, you know, patterns and stuff. It's like, it's about story. Remake made sense. Rebirth made sense. Resurrection would have worked. I think Resurrection was another one I threw a guess out there for. That was the 3. It was, I guess, Resurrection, Revelation, and Redemption. And Redemption's the one I stuck my flag in the ground on. Because I was hoping against hope for a Genesis pop-up with the gacked Redemption song at some point. But it's not meant to be. So, I think with the costumes, Ryan, I agree with you. I think it's a little overkill, but I think it's just an effort for them to dig through the trunk of all of Square Enix's little deals that they'll do, like their little forgive me, it's late and my brain's not working properly and I'm hungry, but like all the little things that Square Enix will do to gimmick up a game or whatever, you know, like, you know, changing your accessories and stuff to change your job class. And I think the wardrobe changes are going to be something to do with a built-in job system they're trying to do with the new thing, and they didn't have time to explain it. I feel like there's going to be some sort of lean in to job classes in this game, which would be cool. But I think that's just an effort for them to just give you as much stuff as you want to do. I don't think it's going to be necessary to change your clothes and do all these different things if you don't want to. I think they're just letting you play it how you want to play it and giving you options to do different things, which I'm a fan of. I'm not necessarily a fan of the Final Fantasy X-2 wardrobe change and all that kind of thing, but I am a fan of them giving you a lot to do. So I'm actually cool with it. Oh, Secundus. Okay, somebody actually just said it. Yeah, so it does seem like that's what it's going to be. Yeah, and everything will be revealed to Cloud in the live stream. Like I've said, since we played Remake together, it's like everything is building toward that moment in the live stream where Cloud becomes the planet's champion. Everything's building to that. So Revelation, perfect. I like the way they dance around Cloud not being in the party. For those who have maybe never played it, they don't realize they're not going to have Cloud at some point. Like, they showed you different points of the game and Cloud was there almost all the time, except for some high wind spots. I thought that was clever. Yeah, Reunion was never one of them, because they used that for the Crisis Core remaster. Advent Children outfits, yeah. The shot of Sephiroth holding Cloud with the failed specimens, the failed experiments reaching up toward him, the former soldiers. That shot was very Advent Children-y. I thought that shot looked very Advent Children-esque. I actually feel like that's what they were going for, because they kind of did it in Remake. Like, they changed like the film grain and everything to be that softer look when you're fighting Sephiroth at the end of Remake. When you're fighting him there, like, it's a different contrast, like, as far as like visually with the camera. And they did the same contrast shift in that shot when you're looking up at Sephiroth, like this almighty godly being, you know. They did that shot there. I think that will be the filter that they use when you're fighting him as save for Sephiroth, which I've got a feeling they're going to rename that Savior Sephiroth. I've just got a feeling. Yeah, Ryan, I think that's the reason he was like, oh, we have a little bit of scene we want to show you. That was on purpose. That was absolutely on purpose, showing, hey, we're gonna change some things up. I think we might fight that weapon. That's what I was saying earlier on the stream. I think we might actually fight that weapon. Diamond Weapon, I think, is the one. I think that's Diamond Weapon. And I think we'll fight him. I think that will be the tutorial battle for how to take on a weapon. I'm just guessing. I don't know. But, yeah. Didn't show snowboarding in the trailer. 0 out of 10. Alright, man. You heard it here first. Zach is out on Revelation. No snowboarding. He's out on the trailer. Well, Chris, they did that for a very good reason. They've got a lot to show. So if they didn't have a whole lot to still show us, that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. If they didn't have a whole lot to show us still, they wouldn't have shown off both Sid and Vincent tag teaming and working together, and Galleon Beast, and Vincent walking around and targeting the things in the walking mode. That's the other thing too. Like, I think that scene, unless it's a story scene where you're just Vincent walking around, I don't think that was in battle when he was targeting those Stalagmites or whatever those were and shooting them all down. I think that was just free roam. So a lot of you have been asking, and someone specifically asked, forgive me, I can't remember who it was in the stream, if I think we'll be able to free roam as different characters. The answer is a maybe yes right now. I think the answer is a possibly. Because we saw free roaming with Tifa, just Tifa though. We saw free roaming with Vincent, but just Vincent. And we got a little bit of that. So I don't know if those are story specific spots, because that very well could be after the party leaves Tifa with Comatose Cloud and Tifa's running around by herself, because they're in Mideel there. So that's why I picked up from it anyway. They've got a lot to show us. And that was one of the things I wanted to talk about is, Dude, we didn't even see under the water. We didn't see the bottom of the ocean. We didn't see the Crash Gilinka. We didn't see the way to the Materia Cave. We've got Lucretia. We've got the return to Midgar. There is so much, and there is so much that we haven't even seen yet that they've added. You know, like the weapon dodging the cannon, that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so much stuff, little things they change here and there. They're not changing the overarching story. They're not doing that. But there will be little things they change here and there to add more flair and add more flavor. And it's just a different idea they've had for the game over the years. And that's what we talked about. This whole remake project is just a collection of notes and sketches and stuff they've had in the years since they did Final Fantasy VII. Think about it. When they started this project, they probably started this project in 2011, probably. Started laying the groundwork for this project. That's only 14 years after the first game came out. When you look at time in this bubble, right, you think, wow, that was a long time, but they were sitting on that for a long time. Guys, it's been 15 years since they started working on this project. So the time in between the original Final Fantasy VII releasing and when they started working on the remake project, and the time from the remake project's beginning to when it finally comes out, that will be a longer stretch of time than the release to when they started working on the remake. Wrap your minds around that for a minute. Time is so fragile, man. Time is so fragile. And things that you think back on, you're like, oh, that took forever. You're like, no, it didn't. It was gone like that. Like the final piece of it, I just want to take a moment to not chill the hype. The hype is nuclear and granted, it should be. But I want to take a moment to appreciate. This is the end of the road. Spring, February or April 2027, it's the end of a long journey. I just want everybody to take a moment to appreciate that. You know what I mean? I've gotten to know a lot of you. I got into this YouTube game covering Final Fantasy VII Remake Saga and, you know, other things I love, Resident Evil, other games. Now I've got a animation channel, and all this stuff started. I have a love for this game and a love to communicate with you all about this stuff. And I'm not going anywhere when it's all over. I'll still be here doing my thing, and I hope you all will continue to join me. But I just wanted to take a moment to pay respect to the team for building this game, seeing it through all the headaches and all that kind of stuff, and just the wild dedication and the wild resolve and drive it took to see the thing through. Because I don't think that gets enough respect. We as fans will look at things like that should have been done and missed opportunities, quote unquote, based on whatever your personal tastes are. What seems like a grand slam to some people seems like a missed opportunity to others. But I think we can all say with certainty, this has been an event. This has been a moment in time in the gaming industry around Final Fantasy VII's remake, the greatest game ever made, and the remake around the greatest video game ever made, the greatest story ever told in a video game, and quite possibly the greatest collection of characters ever in a video game. Some of the greatest music ever produced in a game. This little PS1 JRPG from 1997. Getting all this fan service and hoopla and like a real Lord of the Rings reception. Rightfully so. I just want to take a moment to appreciate that. Tip my hat to the Square Enix team for giving all of us yahoos something to kind of hang our hat on for all these years and something to look forward to. Something to get excited and thrilled and hyped about and pound the desk and wonder where it is. Where's this thing? Well, now we've got it, and the end of the road is nigh. So take a moment to appreciate this moment. That's all I'm saying, because in 20 years, when a lot of you are the age that I am now, you're gonna look back and be like, that was a wild time. That was a wild, 7-8 year stretch right there. Well, 12 if you go back to 2015, That was a wild time waiting for all this stuff to come out. So appreciate that moment. Appreciate this moment. And let's just enjoy the drive toward the end, man. Let's just enjoy the drive toward the end. And I'm buckled up. I'm locked in. I'm ready to enjoy it. So, with all of you. So, yeah. We finally finish. Well, that's the other thing. It's gonna take a long time to finish that game. It's gonna be a long game. It looked like Ruby Weapon was positioned as somewhat of a super boss, and I think that's Emerald Weapon coming out of the ocean at the end of that. The third trailer they showed, the third expose piece they showed. I think that's Emerald Weapon coming out of the ocean there. Oh no, we're gonna get to Veronica. We're absolutely going to get to Veronica. I've seen more people talking about the code Veronica or Resident Evil Veronica stuff online. Oddly, and I'm not saying more people are talking about it than Final Fantasy VII, but that was what popped up in my X feed the most over the last couple of hours is the Resident Evil Veronica stuff. SGF was insane. What's up, Bobby? It was absolutely nuts. We had about 60 in the chat. It was popping off. We were having a great time. It was wild, dude. And the stuff in the middle at Summer Game Fest was really good too. But here's the thing, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I remember thinking, oh, that looks great, oh, that looks great, oh, that looks great, but Code Veronica remake, Final Fantasy VII Revelation, it's hard to remember what happened in the middle with those two. And that's no disrespect to those other games. It's just, they knew. Here's the thing. Hats off to Summer Games Fest, the Game Awards Inc. crew, because they knew. It's like, when you've got a layup, just take the layup. When you got a layup, just take the layup. This is an easy win. Resident Evil Veronica at the start, Final Fantasy VII Revelation at the end. Give it the last 10 to 15 minutes here, and give us the opening like 10 minutes or so here. It's a layup with nobody around the rim. Just whoosh. It's an easy win, and they took it. They did it. They did what they should have done. So hats off to them. I think they're figuring it out. I think the whole industry's figuring it out. Like the Summer Games Fest stuff they showed, it was like, it really had this feeling of like the industry was like, you know what, we're just going to focus on making some fun games again. We're tired of going broke and shutting studios down. Let's just make fun games again. Just make games fun again. That's it. And make people want to line up to buy your game. That's it. Not just like, oh, that looks experimental and interesting. I hope it does well. They never do, you know? But this was not that. So yeah, Beck, for sure. You know, I can remember in the mid 2000s, or the aughts, I think some people call them. I'm like, I don't call it that. I've never heard anyone call it that. I had someone tell me, it's called the aughts. I'm like, you're the only person I've ever heard say that. Mid 2000s, I'll continue to say, like some hayseed, it's fine. I can remember mid 2000s, the rumor was they were remaking Final Fantasy VII, and it was going to be the final piece of the compilation of Final Fantasy VII, with Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus and Advent Children. And the final thing they were going to do, they're going to remake Final Fantasy VII. They talked about that for 10 years. Well, starting around 2005, they were like, and this is only 8 years after 7 came out, right? Just 8 years, that's nothing. You know what? That's nothing. 8 years, that's come and gone. But for 8 years, they were talking, we're going to remake Final Fantasy VII. Okay, well, it's just rumors, just hearsay, industry people talk about it, whatever. You'll see an article in a magazine every now and then about it. Nothing major, though. And then from about 2011 to 2015, you don't hear anything. But that's actually when they had started working on it. And you didn't hear anything. And then 2015, we get our first look with Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach narrating the the trailer, and then the Guy Nantak from Rebirth, and then Captain Zaraki comes back to throw some voice into his narration into the Revelation trailer. So it's isn't it interesting too that Guy Nantak is the character narrating the Revelation trailer when he is the one who gave everybody the revelation about the Black Materia in the Rebirth game. Now I don't know if that's how they meant to go with it, but that's how my brain paints it. The jumping out of the high wind with the almost said umbrellas. We're gonna get to Resident Evil. No brain. We're gonna get to Resident Evil. Jumping out with the parachutes. That's wild, because unless there's like a set landing zone that the game puts you in, that could lend itself to a whole array of possibilities. Like landing in a hard to get to area, like having to land just so in a hard to get to area to get like a hard to get to treasure chest or a rare enemy fight or something like that. Like somewhere on the map you gotta just land your characters just so. I think that's a very interesting concept. Oh yeah, Chris, for sure. I was checking my stuff once a month. Like, are we gonna see something? There was that rough couple of screenshots of Barrett and Cloud fighting Guard Scorpion from Gamescom in 2015 or 2016. I can't remember. And then that was like it. That's when they pulled it back in-house and went full-on reset. Absolutely, Zach. I think there will be. Reward exploration, make it JRPG as hell, man. Like so far the demo for Adventures of Elliot's doing, you know? All the possibilities with the high wind are incredible. No, I'm not saying they were going to remake it in the 2000s. That was a rumor that it was going to be the final piece of the compilation. That was my point. I don't think anybody thought it was going to be coming out in the 2000s. But discussions were definitely happening, you know, like there were rumors going around, and I know they heard the rumors. They were definitely hearing the rumors. They were deep into Kingdom Hearts stuff and mainline Final Fantasy at the time. And so we'll see. I mean, we'll see what Square life after FF7R for Square looks like. But right now we're eating good right now. Right now it's all smiles right now. And get back in the high wind. It's probably gonna be some kind of gimmick where, you know, it's docked, like the crew will dock the high wind somewhere close by, and you can, you know, ladder yourself back up or something like that. Because the high wind has like a full crew, you know. Didn't even see Knights of the Round. There were so many things we didn't see. Didn't see any Queen's Blood nods. We didn't see going back to the Forgotten City with Bugenhagen, any of the underwater stuff. They teased the Emerald Weapon battle. But yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I didn't mind the Ubisoft stuff, dude. Like, because here's the thing. I like them just giving me just a ton of stuff to do in a game. Now, I wish, like, when you hit the guide marker, the guideposts, and activate those guideposts, I wish there was more interesting stuff to do around there, and more varied things to do by region. But the game was huge, and I'm not going to fault them for trying to give us more to do. Like with the outfits, I'm not a big guy on that. I'm probably not going to try to collect them all. You know, I'm not a platinum hunter. But the game's going to be massive anyway. They just want to give people more to chew on and more to do. Sometimes it's a swing and a miss, and sometimes it's a home run, you know, depending on what they do. I don't mind finding all the things because I'm a collector by heart. So I like to collect all the little things in an area, especially in Rebirth. I had a lot of fun doing that. I get why it's not some people's cup of tea, but that's also why I like Assassin's Creed a lot as well. Didn't see any of the Chocobo stuff. We saw them on Chocobos, but... Well, Shane, because like I said earlier, I don't think they want people who haven't played it or don't know much about the story. I think they want it to be a surprise when you don't have Cloud anymore. And a lot of that stuff from before you get the High Wind is your guys are running around without Cloud. You know what I mean? They did show a little bit of the Whirlwind Maze lead up, but yeah. And plus they only had like X amount of time, you know, to show the actual trailer, and then there were other features they showed. But I think it was about a 2-minute trailer, like the trailer for it, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they're gonna go all out. Yeah, Brandon, we were talking about that earlier. That's absolutely gonna be a job system for sure. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Revelation. I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be really great. I wonder what the pre-order statue is going to be. Pre-order, oh, by the way, pre-order announcement, TGS? Is that what we're all thinking? That seems to be the consensus online. Like TGS, they'll announce the pre-order. If it's safe for Sephiroth, I'm emptying the bank account. I'm stopping whatever I'm doing when they announce it. I'm going to go online. I'm going to get one. Because I'm always working when they announce this stuff. And then I get home after it's been up for an hour and they're all gone. So, if it's safe for Sephiroth, I'm emptying the checking account. I am going to get that one. I missed Jill Valentine. I missed RE4 Leon. I missed the Rebirth. I missed all the deluxe editions for Remake and Rebirth. I just got the big box with the statues. I missed all of that because I was working, you know. But not this time. Demo, yeah. How are we feeling about a demo? I think they'll probably wait till maybe Game Awards for the demo. I could see them dropping a demo at the Game Awards. Oh yeah, like the Game Awards started at 10 out of 10. Code Veronica Remake? I didn't think we'd get it here. I thought we were going to get the Resident Evil 9 story DLC. I thought we were getting Requiem story DLC. So when it showed the person like ringing the concierge at the thing, I was like, this is RE Engine. And I think I said live on the stream, I was like, this is the Requiem story demo, or the story DLC. And then when the chick was like, your brother's here, you're the American, your brother's here, I was like, it's Code Veronica. I was like, it's Claire, that's gonna be Claire Redfield, damn it. Yeah, so good. So yeah, it was a great show, man. It was a fantastic show. They absolutely, 10 out of 10, crushed it. My opinion, my take. They took all the fan feedback, they listened, they knew what people wanted to see, and they showed people what they wanted to see. They knew the assignment and they executed the assignment. Yeah, the demos for those games were not long before the actual game came out. Yeah, a demo with Vincent and Sid. I want a demo of just running around the high wind and jumping off. I want to see what that feels like when you're playing the game. I've got the key art up in the corner of the screen here. Yeah, we went over it toward the end of my earlier live stream. My live stream. But yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. Like, one of the major things that I'm glad that it answers, like, Zack is dead, Aerith is dead. There are not multiple timelines. There's none of that foolishness. I'm glad we can put all that to bed. I'll never forget, leading up to Remake, everybody's like, it's multiple worlds. Even the big streamers were like, it's multiple worlds. Oh, it's proof. That's proof it's multiple worlds. We're going to different timelines. It's going to be Marvel, dude. I was like, man, no. Square isn't that stupid. They're not going to do that. Oh yeah, we'll get Genesis and Deep Ground and Revelation. There was actually a spot in the trailer, or one of the gameplay things, that they showed like 3 different things. There was one spot in particular that was like, that's kind of Deep Groundy looking. But I didn't go back and try to find it or anything. But it was just like a quick shot, and there was not even any enemies around. I think it was just a couple of characters from the party. But part of me was like, it's kind of Deep Groundy looking. Oh man. Jeff Keighley's on a burner right now on X. He's loving life right now. He is loving life right now. He's having a blast over on X right now. Oh yeah, dude, we're absolutely gonna get Nero. That was one of the things they showed us at the end of Rebirth, right? It was that, you know, one of the things that Yuffie's gonna have to clean up. She's gonna have to face Nero again. Like, the Temple of the Ancients at the end of the game gave everybody a taste of where they're going to be going in Revelation. That's another great thing. What did the Temple of the Ancients do at the end of Rebirth? It gave everyone a revelation of what they're going to be having to conquer in the 3rd game. That, when we broke down my Rebirth playthrough a year after all of you played it, we discussed the importance of the Temple of the Ancients scene with everybody else, and that's when I was like, you know, the 3rd game could be called Revelation. And I'm not saying I called it. I'm not, because I stuck my flag in the ground on Redemption. So, but doesn't even really matter. But I did mention there, I was like, Revelations are going to be a big part of the next game. And I remember somebody specifically coming out and saying, well, they wouldn't do that because Resident Evil has a Revelation series, and then Assassin's Creed has Assassin's Creed Revelations as the 3rd game. And I was like, that almost hammered it home for me when they chimed in and said that, because I was like, but these people making this really like the Ezio trilogy, obviously. They really like Assassin's Creed. And so I was like, well, Assassin's Creed Revelations is the 3rd Assassin's Creed of the Ezio trilogy. Well, maybe that'll be the Final Fantasy VII. And I let it go. I liked Redemption better anyway. I went with that. But then everybody went at me and they were like, well, it's got to be 2 syllables, bro. I'm like, what? What? Where'd you all get your advertising degrees? Where'd you get your marketing degrees? Forgotten Capital? Yes, that will be happening. I was kind of hoping we would see that in the trailer. But we will absolutely, when we get Bugenhagen and go back and look for the Key of the Ancients and all that other kind of stuff, we're absolutely going to get to explore the Temple of the Ancients, or not the Temple of the Ancients, but the Forgotten Capital. Absolutely, man. Chadley Super Boss in Part 3. God willing, let's go. Let's see it. I'm ready. Roche, Glenn. I think, isn't Glenn dead? I think Glenn's dead, right? What about Sonnen? What's going on with Sonnen? Yeah, yeah. The Revelation series is really good. Rumor is they might be remastering or remaking Revelations 1 with Jill, which I'd be all for. I loved Revelations 2 with Claire. I thought it was great. Yes, Shane. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was actually content for the original game that got cut because of budget and time. But you were supposed to, if I'm recalling correctly, I don't think you partnered up with the non-Tifa and Cloud characters and went out as a party. I think it was supposed to be solo missions. I might be wrong about that, but that was supposed to be a part of the game that got cut. Kunsel, Leslie, nah, I don't think they matter. I mean, you might bump into them, but they're not. I don't think they're gonna get like a big like moment or anything like that. They just don't matter that much in the grand scheme of the story. And Cissnei, I could see her being a quest giver or something like that, but she doesn't matter in the grand scheme of the overarching story either. I'd rather that whatever they're gonna do, if they had planned like a 3-hour romp with Cissnei, I'd rather them just leave that out and put that time into one of your main party characters, the characters that matter. Just focus on them. I'd rather them give time to Reno or Rude, to be honest with you, because they're more important than Cissnei. Focus on the important characters. This is it. This is the last stint. Yeah, she could be a quest giver, sure. The Street Fighter 6 Tifa thing got ruined for me yesterday. Somebody sent me an image and they were like, dude, check it out. And I was like, oh shit, man, why'd you send me that? Yeah, that key art of her with the other 3 characters from this pass, that got sent to me. That got spoiled for me. So I knew that was coming. I didn't want to say anything to you all. But when they actually brought Hamaguchi out for that, that's when I was like, oh no. Oh no. I was like, they didn't bring him there just for fucking Street Fighter, bro. I could hardly contain my excitement at that point. And I tried to throw you all off a little bit. I was like, oh no, now they're definitely not going to show it at the end. I was wanting to see you all, I was wanting to see the Boo Birds come out. Oh no. Oh no, they're definitely not going to bring him out at the end now for Rebirth. It's going to be something else. Or Revelation. It's going to be something else. That was pretty wild. Jeff Keighley's like, alright, come on back out here. Come on back out. Yeah, Reno was hardly in Rebirth at all. Oh yeah. Everybody knew she was going to be in there, just when to put her in, you know. Stellar Blade looks cool. The chick, the main character, she's got a haircut in this. Jiggle dynamics are in full effect. So there was that. So I'm gonna talk about Resident Evil Veronica. Let me tell you what. The little shots they showed of that trailer, the different areas, my brain was like eating just a big old slice of cheesecake. Just like yum, yum, yummy. Oh, it's so tasty. It's so good. They showed the courtyard of the prison area of Rockford Island with the Jeep on fire and the big gate where you got to get the seal to go through. Oh my god, man. And then Alfred Ashford just running his finger along the banister of the palace. Oh my god. Dude. They didn't show a Bandersnatch. They didn't show any monsters except for some zombies at the end. They didn't tip their hand at all. They didn't show Wesker. They didn't show his crew, because Wesker and his crew, like, you all don't understand. I've been getting so many rumor messages about Code Veronica remake that I was like, they are making Code Veronica remake. There's no question about it. I didn't think we'd see it for a little bit, but my brain was like, with all the people sending me all the stuff, like, rumors, what it's going to be, how big this game is, the scope of this game, how it's going to be like 2 Resident Evil games in one. Like, I've heard so much stuff. There's going to be stealth dynamics to the game. There's going to be sneaking around as Claire and Chris. There's going to be all this crazy shit, right? There's going to be first and third person, yes. All this crazy shit they're doing with the game. All the stuff that I've heard, I'm like, I feel like every bit of it's true. After seeing that trailer, they didn't show us anything. I was like, you don't need to show me a damn thing. You've already got my money, Capcom. You've got my money. Pre-ordering, there better be a deluxe version of this one with a Claire statue. We don't have a Claire statue yet. We gotta get a Claire statue. We've had 2 Leon statues. Yeah, there's absolutely going to be a first and third person. You can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle. You can please both audiences. You proved you did it with Resident Evil Requiem. That was perfect. Great first person for those who like that. Great third person. Perfect. That is the standard moving forward. Don't play with it. Don't touch it. Don't do anything to it. Do that. Just do it like that. Cap God was holding court today. So what, from Capcom we got Resident Evil Veronica. Oh man, just saying like, oh, it's one of my featured games right there. One of my all-time great featured games on my shelf back here. We got Street Fighter 6, we got Monster Hunter, of course. Didn't get the Devil May Cry reveal I thought we'd get, but we got the Resident Evil Veronica deal, so that's fine. That's fine. I know we got another Capcom game, right? Did we get another No, we got the Capcom sale thing. That's right. There were a lot of leaks. I'm talking about not the leaks, but I'm talking about all these crazy X notifications I'm getting on my phone right now. Well, can't. All these notifications I'm getting right now. These are all people who are like, did you see what this insider said? Here's this text I got from so and so. And I'm like, guys, I just want to be a fan. I'm not trying to be an insider. Just let me be a fan. Let me be surprised every now and then. I appreciate it. Anybody watching and texting me at the same time right now, I appreciate it. But I do just want to be a fan. But yeah, so Code Veronica remake, Veronica, is going to be massive. Like, the big thing I've heard that I'm super excited about is that there will be limited ammo, a lot of stealth, and that there will be ammo crafting, and that Chris's ammo crafting knowledge is more advanced than Claire's, but Claire can do it as well, and she's good at fixing machinery. So you might actually be able to upgrade your ammo crafting stuff with Claire, and the Antarctic base is going to be way bigger, way darker, way scarier. I was like, just put me in the candy store right now. Just put me in the candy store right now. I'm locked in on that. I can't wait. And I do think it'll be spring. I think it'll be right, not alongside Rebirth or Revelation. That just sounds good. Final Fantasy VII Revelation. That's a great sounding title. And everybody and their mom uses Revelation for like Masters of the Universe Revelation, Assassin's Creed Revelation, all this other stuff. But no, it just sounds good. It sounds good. A lot of people use that, but if it works and if it's perfect for the story, use it, man. Yeah, that was Steve in the trailer putting the hood on. Like, I paused it during the stream. He had like that reddish brown hair. And Claire does too, but that was definitely a guy. And that was Steve. Steve! I'm Steve! Claire! No! Father! Yeah, we're going to get some Wesker action in the game. We got the Ashfords to deal with. Looks like they might be putting Hunk in it. Hunk being in there would be kind of cool, you know? Maybe a Chris Redfield Hunk battle. Be interesting. So, yeah, Nosferatu. Nosferatu is going to look nasty. He's going to look so fucking sick in Veronica. I'm really excited about that. But Stellar Blade, and there were a lot of other games that they showed that I thought were cool. Throw some of your other honorable mentions out there. What were some other games? This was a 10 out of 10 showcase. Like, I feel like my hype around the showcase has died down. Not the hype around the two big announcements, but the hype around the showcase, for me, has died down a little bit. It's still a 10 out of 10 showcase. Fantastic showcase. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 10 is going to be Claire. I feel like it's going to be Claire. I'd like for it to be Claire and Jill. Just go all in. Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine. Let's do it, man. It's time for Jill to get some more shine anyway. And I want them to go back and remake Resident Evil 3 Remake. I want them to go back and remake it. That would be ideal. That would be an ideal situation. Please do that immediately. The Shadow, yes, thank you. That was one at the top of on the tip of my tongue. I wanted to talk about. What was that called? I joked it was a Transformers Headmasters game, but that looks really cool. Like the head of a robot, it's a ship, and it looks like, and this might be completely wrong, but I feel like it looks like you pilot the ship around and you dock into other big robot machines and you use the different types of robot bodies and stuff to pilot, and they look like ruins. Like these big robot bodies, they look like ruins. And then you're piloting them to either do battles or to do puzzling. Dude, that is so cool. What a great concept. I've seen that, Chris. I've seen that fans are rebuilding other areas of Resident Evil 3 Remake. I've been keeping up with some of that on YouTube. It looks fantastic. Hopefully Capcom will bring them in. You know what would be cool? If Capcom does bring in fans who do fan work of their games and stuff, and after they shut it down, bring them in to help them work on things. It would be really cool if Capcom worked with these people. Like, hey, we're going to pay you a little bit, and then we're going to actually release this as an update for Resident Evil Remake. I would play it again if they would just do that. Gen Atlas, yes. Gen Atlas. Gundam looked cool. The Chinese game looked a lot like Lost Soul Aside and Black Myth Wukong. Like the character didn't look like Black Myth Wukong, but I feel like those Chinese action games are starting to develop like a look and a feel. You get me? Like anytime I see one now, I go, oh, this is a Chinese action game. This is a China-based studio making an action game. I feel like they're starting to develop that kind of, I don't want to say cookie cutter. I don't feel like it's cookie cutter, but there's a certain aesthetic to it that I'm starting to recognize. There was the one also with the father and the son during the war. That looked really cool. And that looks like it's during like the Three Kingdoms era. That looks like it's during that era, like that Red Cliff era that I was talking about. That game looks really cool too. Crossfire, that was the name of it. Wait, no, I don't think that was the name of that game. Crossfire was something else, but yeah. Crossfire looks good, but it's like a generic name. We discussed that. Oh yeah. Like, the next 6 to 12 months are going to be crazy. Crazy. There's a lot to look forward to. Here in 12 days, we get the Adventures of Elliot. Adventures of Elliot in 12 Days. Man, good stuff. And Onimusha is... When's Onimusha? Is that October? Crazy they went ahead and released the demo for it, though. But yeah, I think that's October. Is that sooner? But yeah, man, like, they killed it. I'm looking forward to the Game Awards now. I don't even care who wins the awards, because what do I always tell you all? Whatever your favorite thing was that year, that's what the best thing was. I don't need a bunch of writers getting kickbacks and stuff like that to tell me what was good or not. I know what's good. You know what's good. You know what's good. So I'm looking forward to the Game Awards. It's like just a big showcase and a big love letter to the year that was in gaming and the year that is yet to come. So we're going to get a lot more cool stuff there. I bet the Game Awards last year, was it 3 hours? I bet it's 3 hours this year. If it wasn't last year, I bet it's 3 hours this year. Well, I don't think Snoop Dogg has his own studio. Death Row, I think it's a bunch of people. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not up on my hip hop. I've not been a big, like, I used to love rap in the 90s and early 2000s, but I'm a metalhead mostly, and classical game music and stuff. But I know the personalities. I didn't know Death Row Records was still around. I didn't know they had Death Row games. I definitely didn't know that. I guess maybe that's Snoop Dogg's. Maybe he's got it now. I don't know. I know Suge Knight ran that for a long time, and he was not. He was not a good dude. he was OG. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Yeah, the showcase was absolutely incredible. Snoop was up there for just a few minutes, and that was Stranger Than Heaven, right? Stranger Than Heaven, which is going to be good. They showed something for Mafia the Old Country, but that was one of those little commercial break kind of things. Well, he is now. But yeah, I thought Death Row Records went down with him. But again, I'm not a connoisseur by any means. I just know what little I know from back in the day. I do not know anything about currently. Stellar Blade 2 looks really cool. And I don't think I've ever played a bad Yakuza game. I've played some Yakuza games that I thought were like, that's just okay, I didn't finish it. But I never played a Yakuza game and thought this is not a good game. Yeah, the Old Country expansion, right. That's what I thought, yeah. So, man, yeah, A++, A++. This was just... It was a dime. Man, they did such a great job with this show. I could have been more pleased with this week. I liked State of Play up until the badly edited God of War segment. If they had taken that God of War segment and stuck it at the beginning and then brought the actress out to actually talk about it for a second and then wave to the crowd and leave, I thought that would have been way better than what they did. You know? People love her. You know, I think she's wonderful. She's a great actress. Bring her out first after you show a trailer for the game. Let the crowd pop. Let her say thank you to everybody and look forward to you playing the game and say something cool and leave. You open that way. It's a, well, I mean, there was no stage, but have her come on screen and talk about it and then go away and then go on to do something else. But no, man, yeah, it was just like a really... We're going to cut out the first 24 minutes of a playthrough from the opening credits of the game, and it wasn't handled well. After a really, what I thought was a really good State of Play. So, the anime episode length, yeah, it was. It was like the length of an episode of an anime. I would have enjoyed the Virtua Fighter World Tour mode if I hadn't had it muted. I would have enjoyed that more, but I had to mute it because it was like licensed music all over this thing. Anytime I hear licensed music start up and I'm not talking to you all and I catch it, I mute it. I'm just like, I'm not even playing around about that anymore. Xbox is going to have some reveals. I think they've got a they're probably going to contract a lot of these other game companies that wanted to reveal things. Now, don't forget, during E3 2018, or was it 2019, during the Xbox showcase is where we got Devil May Cry 5. That's where they debuted Devil May Cry 5, was the Xbox showcase, 2018, 2019. I think it was 2018. So Xbox is going to show some stuff. I think I'm going to do the Xbox showcase on Sunday now. I think I'm going to do it. What time is that? Somebody let me know. Yeah, Nelson. Well, and the other thing I don't want to get too far into right now is like, it is the end of the road for the Final Fantasy VII Remake saga come this spring. But take heart, because I'm sure there will be some kind of Final Fantasy VII spin-off. I don't know if that's going to be a sequel or whatever, but I don't want to get too far into the weeds of that and speculation, because they might not. They might not, you know. Is State of Decay 3 confirmed for Xbox at the event? Have they confirmed anything for that event? And yeah, I want to know, 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so 5 Eastern on Sunday as well. Yeah, we'll do that. Bet. We'll come on for the Xbox showcase. You know, I'm not expecting anything, but maybe there'll be some cool reveals. Some title reveals. I'm not expecting anything from Xbox, the company itself, but just show me some cool games that I can play on my PS5. Thank you. I hate to be that way about it, but you know, that's just kind of the way it is with them right now. Oh goodness gracious! Yeah, what a banger! What a banger! What a great show! I'm gonna have to cut up a couple of reactions. I'm gonna definitely have to cut up the Final Fantasy, or the Resident Evil one, and the Final Fantasy one. DMC1 remake. Well, that's why I said the Devil May Cry thing, right? Because DMC 6 is supposed to be happening, and I keep hearing about this Devil May Cry 1 remake. That's day one. As soon as they show a screenshot, that's day one. Period. End of discussion. They're gonna show Persona 4, or is it Persona 4? Yeah. The remake, or that's a remake, right? Or is it a remaster? It's a remaster. We can talk about how good Claire looks, because I mentioned it during the stream. I was like, wow, she looks way better, because I was like, this is just a few months after Resident Evil 2 in the story as it takes place, and she looks way better than she did in Resident Evil 2. Like, she looks like Claire Redfield should look. You know, Gaijin, that's a great point. That's a great point. Xbox could show like a little trailer and maybe have a little more information on it. That's a fantastic point. But yeah, Claire looked great. Looked like her face, like they fixed it, you know? Because yeah, I mean, she was fine in Resident Evil 2. I mean, she was fine, you know? I didn't mean it like that, but you know, her character model was fine. But I remember they showed that first trailer in like 2018 or whatever it was for RE2, and she looks up at Sherry and she's like, of course, and one eye was kind of like off, and people were like, ooh, we need to fix this, gotta get this fixed, you know? But it never really kind of ever felt like super Clary, you know? But her look, just the shot it showed of Hunk holding her and her looking back at Hunk, great. It was like a younger version of her Revelations model. Great. That's exactly what it needs to be. Fantastic. No notes. Just do that. But I'm going to hop off here for the night, guys. I've got an early morning. I got to be up in about 7 hours. It's a dual birthday party day. It's my son and my wife's birthday party tomorrow. So I've got a little pre-work to do. Got to do a couple more things. I got to get in bed. Got to get up early. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. But I'm going to come back on tomorrow night. I'm going to stream tomorrow night. We're going to stream Sunday night. We're going to stream Xbox Sunday night. I'll come back on tomorrow night. I'm just going to do a chill gaming hangout stream. So if you don't have anything going on tomorrow night around 11 o'clock, for real this time, you don't have anything going on around 11, come on, hang out with your boy. I'm just going to do a little gaming, do a little talking, do a little hanging out, listen to some chill music. So if you're into that, then come on back. Oh, what's up, Faith Giant? You're good, man. It's late. I was sidetracked doing some other stuff, but I will be back on tomorrow night at 11 o'clock or so. If you have not jumped on the Discord yet, what are you waiting for? Go join us on Discord. It's a good time over there. We're chatting it up over there all the time. So a lot of the usual suspects, a couple meatheads pop in every now and then, but it's all good. It's all laughs, you know. But all right, well, y'all have a good one. Have a great night. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. And I will catch you all later. I got to cut these reactions up before I go to bed and not get them online. So y'all have a good one. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace. And thank you for the happy birthdays. Appreciate it. I'll let them know.